Yo, what up everybody? So today I want to do something really dangerous. I want to do something really dangerous. I want to talk about Boruto Uzumaki and whether or not Boruto actually displayed enough of the intangibles needed to be considered a Chunin. Now, I'm going to be using Boruto not just during the Chunin exams, but also during the Momoshiki fight. And I want to have a discussion with you guys whether or not Boruto is Chunin worthy. And I'm probably gonna make a follow-up video of this where I do a community response and ask you guys what you think as far as is Boruto Chunin ready. And I'm gonna be blunt with you, I don't think Boruto's ready. And I know somebody's like, well, of course he wasn't ready. He was cheating all through the exams. He was using the ninja tools. Weren't you paying attention? Oh my God, you're so stupid. Oh, okay. I get it. Like, my dude was cheating using the purple lightning, using the ninja tool, and he was using the ninja tools all throughout it. I totally get it. But one thing we also have to look at is like, yeah, Boruto's really skilled. And even Kakashi during the Genin graduation exam was saying like he's clearly above a Genin level. But that brings into question, yeah, he's above a Genin level in skill, but does Boruto have what it takes to be Chunin? And I think that we have to go back to what Kakashi was really getting at in that moment, all the way back, I think episode 24, 25, 26 of the Boruto anime, which is, I don't think Boruto truly understands what it means to be a platoon leader. Like, Boruto has some of those intangibles. Like, if you look at it, the members of his class clearly gravitate towards him. People like Sarada clearly want to see him do well. And like Sarada, like, she at one point was rooting for Boruto and got so disheartened when she thought that Boruto was going to lose. And even in the arcs that follow, like, you can tell Boruto just has that impact on people, and that is a quality of a leader. But when you look at what it takes to be Chunin, one thing that really stands out is that in order to be a Chunin, you can't afford to get emotional in battle. You can't afford to get hot-headed. You can't afford to panic, which we definitely know that Boruto does panic, especially when he starts to lose some of his faith in his abilities. And also in the case of intelligence gathering, when it comes to completing the mission, you have to be willing to complete the mission without getting wiped out. And unless you can balance the risks and sacrifices against the mission and proceed with survival as your #1 option, you don't deserve to be called a Chunin. And those aren't my words. Like, that's damn near taken from the Naruto manga, which is you have to be willing to weigh the risk, play hardball, take some of those chances, and yet at the same time, you can't put people around you in danger. And when you look at Boruto, when you look at some of the decisions that Boruto's made, he's done just that, or he's had people bail him out. Like, if you go back to the exams, in the first exam, the one that Sai oversaw, it was Mitsuki and Sarada's cool thinking in the midst of an unexpected situation that they were able to pass. When you had the whole capture the flag stuff, like, Boruto got a little too over cocky, and that comes into the whole thing of being able to keep your emotions in check. And it was Mitsuki who saw the situation and said, I need to go back Boruto up. He understood the limitations of Boruto as a character, as Boruto as a fighter. And that's something that's really important. Like, you have to go all the way back to the Shikamaru and the Tamari fight. And when you go back to that, one of the things that was really highlighted is the fact that people are really impressed with the fact that Shikamaru understood the limitations of himself as a fighter, but he was able to look at those limitations, assess the situation, come up with a counter strategy, and find the most effective way to end the battle as quickly as possible. Now, I know someone's gonna say, well, yeah, he was also waiting for the shadows to drag out, but if you keep in mind the fact that in missions, you could be going days, Shikamaru waiting out a couple of hours for the clouds to get in a certain position is actually really smart. It's really damn impressive in the fact that once everything fell into place, he was able to execute his plans really quickly. That in itself is really impressive. And you have to keep in mind that when it comes to strategy, when it comes to being a platoon leader, if you're able to accomplish your objective very quickly, you're able to ensure that your teammates get back safe. And when you go back a little further and you look at some of Boruto's past antics in the current arc that's going on with Inoki, like Boruto's made some really boneheaded decisions. He's allowed his emotions to get the better of him instead of looking through every small detail and being a little patient to weigh his options. He's allowed his emotions to guide him. And don't get me wrong, you know, there's something to be said about having a natural knack for figuring out the right moment to do things and do things in an unorthodox way. Like when he was in the Ryuchi cave and he figured out that he needed to make the final puzzle piece in order to get out. That's something that Boruto had to get after being frustrated. But if he would have had a cool head about him, he might have figured that out a lot sooner. And I think that's something you have to keep in mind. I think that Boruto has a lot more of Naruto in him than a lot of people want to admit. When you look at Naruto during that fight with Neji, like Naruto, he believed in his own strength, just like Boruto does, but he allowed his emotions to get in his way. And if he'd have been a squad leader and Naruto was leading, Naruto would have got his team killed. It's the same thing with Boruto. When you look at some of Boruto's decisions, Boruto didn't assess the situation properly and made some boneheaded decisions, like say with the Momoshiki stuff. When Momoshiki's there, instead of stepping back and surveying the situation, Boruto starts firing off the ninjutsu, not because he thinks that it's a way to stop Momoshiki, but instead he's panicked because Momoshiki is starting to close in and approach everything that's near and dear to him. He wasn't thinking things through, which is why Naruto ultimately ended up sacrificing himself, because Momoshiki was able to fire back all those jutsu at an enormously overpowered way, which you can argue is also part of the reason why Sasuke gave him the talking to after the fact. I think that's something that Sasuke is starting to teach Boruto, is that for Boruto, there's a lot more that he needs to learn. It's something that Kakashi is trying to drill into him. And when you look at the manga without spoiling it, it's something that Boruto is learning through his interactions with Kawaki. But I want to know what you guys think. I want to know, do you think that Boruto at any point displayed the intangible leadership qualities and decision making to be a Chunin, or do you think that he deserves to have a little more grooming like I do? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video, guys. Have an awesome day.